So this week I wanted to talk about the first commandment and prayer and how they are related. So the first commandment in the Old Testament is, there shall be no other gods before me. I know a song with the 10 Commandments. It's number one, we just begun. God should be first in your life. So God's number one in our life. What does that look like, and how exactly do we go about doing that? My personal experience with this has been through prayer. So God longs for a relationship with us. It's not this higher being that's putting all of these rules and everything else down on us to say, you must do this in order to please me. It's a two-way street where we honor him and he honors us and we respect each other. And it's a relationship of mutual respect. And it's also a relationship of, God is wise. He knows our deepest desires. He knows us inside and out better than we know ourselves. And the only way to access that is through prayer. In the Catholic Church, we have adoration, which is where we actually go and sit before the Eucharist and pray there, where we're actually physically sitting in the presence of God, which is an overwhelming experience a lot of the time to look him directly in the eye, so to speak. So there's that. But prayer in and of itself, what does that look like and why is that important? What can we do to make it better? One of the major things, I'm reading a book right now called The 4 Signs of a Dynamic Catholic by Matthew Kelly. And he talks about becoming the best version of ourselves, always becoming a better version of yourself. And basically that's another way of saying becoming more holy. So when we put God as number one in our life, for me, I dated God and basically had him be my boyfriend for about a year, and there were some rough patches in there. It was like a real relationship. We argued at times, we disagreed on things, and it all just came as part of the process. But setting that time for him, having that time where I got up at 5:30 in the morning to spend an hour with him before getting ready for my work or for whatever I needed to do for the day, but committing that time to him. It's similar to a real relationship where if you are dating somebody, you set a time aside at a specific spot. Especially, I'm gonna go, because it's not, I don't know. I wanted to go more like a long distance example, because you may have, say you only see somebody on the weekends. You would have a specific time schedule on when you would see that person and you'd set aside that time. Now, if for 4 weeks in a row you decide that you're not going to see each other for those set times, your relationship is obviously going to decrease and it won't be as profitable and as uplifting as it could be or would be, and it would probably eventually fall apart if that isn't kept up and maintained, because it's that quality time that we need with each other in order to sustain the relationship. So with prayer, and this is kind of a challenge I have for you guys this week, is set time aside. Whether it's starting with 5 minutes, start small. Start with something that's sustainable for you, that lines up with where you are with everything, with your walk with God, so that he can work through that in a sustainable way, because God, he is sustainable. We sang a song today in church about how I will praise your name forever, or I will praise you forever, and just this concept. And while I was sitting in Mass, I was thinking about how eternal this whole thing is. God is a forever thing. He's not just going to disappear tomorrow. He's not going to all of a sudden just go out like the power goes out. He's not like that. He's sustainable. And he asks for us to put him as number one in our lives. And it's not even just I want to be a part of everything with you. He actually wants to be number one. He's a jealous God. And when we look at addictions and we look at everything that we would put before God, I don't care what the addiction is, whether it is alcohol or drugs, or if it's our cell phone, if it's Facebook, if it's YouTube, if it's, I don't know, different, whatever it may be for any individual person, it's overcoming that and allowing God to work through it and to walk side by side with us so that we can grow closer with him and therefore become more as he is and spend that time with him so that we can then resemble him when we listen for what he's doing. So my challenge, is to really set aside that time. Set up a space that you pray in. Set up a place where you can have that conversation, where you can sit and really focus on that relationship so you can listen. Because for me, that's been a really huge part of my growth with my faith and with the church and with everything else, has just been to set that aside and make God a priority, making him number one, making reading the Bible and meditating on those wise words of Proverbs. There was a period of time where I read one proverb per day. There are 30 proverbs, one every day of the month. And that really helped my growth too, just to look at what that wisdom looks like, that wisdom of Solomon, who could have wished for anything and wished for wisdom. He could have had any riches, anything, and he wished for wisdom. And God is just longing to give that to us, to give us the knowledge that he has and the knowledge that is accessible to us through his word and through the context of his word and everything there. So it's really cool. I know that, love the Lord with all your heart, soul, mind, strength. Everything within us is supposed to be there, and that's the greatest commandment. So it's spelled out for us, and it's available. So I hope that you do find the time this week to really set God as a priority and spend that time with him, and really just meditate on those words that he has given us, and he'll come through. I mean, he's a good God when we seek him. Seek and you shall find, and the door shall be open unto you when you knock. So he's there. He's waiting to listen and waiting to talk back. So I hope you guys have a great Sunday. Thanks for watching, and we'll chat again next week, and we'll see what comes forward. So hope you have a great week. Thanks.